In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, one God, Amen. Christus anesti. Christ is risen. Towards the end of this beautiful journey, I don't know if this is better. Assuming it is better. Towards the end of this beautiful journey, the church is giving us one of the most important Bible verses that you will encounter ever in the scripture. It is always debatable, it always causes a lot of problems. And I will tell you a story. It is the verse John 14:6. John 14:6. I think by the end of this term you should know at least what is John 14:6. There was a pastor, one of the most famous pastors here in the Hispanic community, and he was tweeting on his Twitter account, John 14:6, and he said, if you are confused about the ways, Christ is the way, and there is no other way. Just to tell you, this pastor, his congregation maybe, or people who are following him, maybe 5 million behind him, follow him on Twitter. It's a very, very famous one. And the media went nuts, and everybody went crazy against this pastor, and they told him, this is ridiculous, you are putting us down, you are biased, you are dividing the country, you are doing this, you cannot say that Christ is the only way. And he got life-threatening emails and text messages from unknown people telling him, remove this Bible out, remove this post of Twitter, or else. And the good part of this story that he said, or apologize for hurting the feelings of the nation. And he did in a press conference, and he said, if you think that I hurt you, he didn't say I am the way. He said I am the way and the truth and the life. And away of him there is no way, there is no other way. And outside of him there is no life. And what he is saying is the truth and the full truth. This is the most debatable Bible verse in our current time, because it's all about relativism. Yeah, it's no big deal. You are Buddhist, fine, good for you. You are Hindu, fine, good for you. You are Muslim, fine, good for you. You are Jewish, it's okay. You believe in this, fine. No one can impose anything on me, and you cannot impose anything. And the whole concept of that there is a truth, there is a very clear truth, is not being accepted. Why this Bible verse is very important? Not because of what this pastor did, but because of this. Before I show you a very, very scary statistics, do you know what is the millennials and what is Generation Z? Just to be aware of what we are talking about. I think the youth are aware of. So what is Generation Z and what is millennials? You think that this is a ridiculous question? Who cares? But if you have a business and you don't know what is Generation Z and what is millennials, this will affect your business. Do you know why? Because the millennials are the people born between 1985 till 2000. All the things that happened in those years, in those around, this is roughly, from those 15 years from 1985 to 2000, whatever, so so September 11 event affected whom? The millennials or Generation Z? Generation Z. And definitely affected some of the millennials. But the whole point is, those people who has been born all over the world in this 15 years range, there is a lot of things, political, economical, in the history, in the changes of the directions of nations, and who is running the office. All of this are happening in this time, and it shaped this generation. What happens is, whatever shaped the generations of the millennials is different than the generation Z. Generation Z is kids or youth who has been born after around 2000. So how many Generation Z we have now here? Okay, we have a big group of the deacons. Why is this important? It is very important for this reason. This is the USA map of religious identity. When they went and they asked anonymously about the people, maybe this is not that clear, and they asked them, so Generation Z, this is what born after 2000, millennials, then Generation X, the boomers, and the elders, this is different generation. And all the people who have been born and raised in this time have a lot of things is common. What happened from Generation Z to the millennials in this slide? Atheism doubled in the youth, in youth in the Generation Z, or in Generation Z, the number of people who believe in God, or the number of people who are atheists are increasing by 50, are doubled. So it was around 7% in the millennials, now it is? Are you there? It is double. And this spike is scary because of the seed of relativism. It's okay. It's no big deal. You feel it's right. It's no big deal. If you feel this is what you believe in, it is your right to feel whatever you want to feel, and watering down the message of God, and us being ashamed also of the message of God. That you know what, if there is any way of any way to be saved other than this, it's fine. It's no big deal. So this is okay. Another scary statistics on the Christian youth, because people are saying, you are the center, you are the church that has the youth, and you are people are talking in this direction. But research proved that Christian youth in the first years, if you are sending 100 youth to college, 100 youth to college, in this age, 70 of them are returning back atheists. Again, if you are sending 100 youth to college, 30 are staying in church, 70 are gone. At least for the time of college. So we are in a very, very critical, very risky stage when you look to things, when things is adding up this way. So now where they meet, and by the way, the Generation Z are just starting college this year. The righteous who entered college, and 70% of them, they became atheists or they left the church. The statistics, it says they left the church. Across the board, across the nation, and all denominations in the Christian faith. So now they didn't even met yet the Generation Z, who have doubled the number of people who are non-believers or they are atheists. And here the word from the mouth of our Lord: I am the truth, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Can we repeat this verse together? I am the way, the truth, the life. Why he said the way? Why he didn't say I am a way?
Because that's the only way.
Because he is the only way. But maybe this is too much. Abuna is extreme. Our church is, this is too much. When it comes to faith, there is no compromise. When it comes to faith, there is no compromise. Because whether you are on the way or you are outside of the way. Whether you are in Christ or are outside Christ. Because it doesn't make a difference if you are Muslim or Buddhist or different denomination. In the end, if you don't believe in their way, you are outside of the way. And if he is not your path, then you are on a different way that is a lie that leads to death. You are on a different way that is a lie that leads to death. And there is no way out of this. Whether we like it, we don't like it, whether you like me, you don't like me. But this is the truth. So when the Lord is saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life, he who comes to me, no one comes to the Father except through me. No one comes to the Father except through me. I met a priest who was raised and born in India. And he was searching for the truth. Because it's very confusing. He is growing up and everyone around him, different religion, different belief system. Everybody is there. And also you will find the different options even in place like India. And he was very confused. One day he went to one of the monasteries. He met one of the monks living in solitude. And he told him, I'm confused, if you can guide me. And he told him Isaiah 35:8. Isaiah 35:8. Isaiah 35:8. A highway shall be there, and a road, and it shall be called the highway of. Focus with me. A highway shall be there, and a road, and that shall be called the highway of holiness. The unclean shall not pass over it, but it shall be for others. Whoever walks the road, although a fool, shall not be astray, or shall not go astray. A highway, and in a different translation, says a great road will go through that once deserted land. It will be named a highway of holiness. Evil-minded people will never travel on it, and it will be only for those who walk in God's way. Fools will never walk there, or will never even be lost, as it says in the other different translation. And this young man who was searching for the truth, he told him, what do you mean by this Bible verse? There is a highway it is called the highway of holiness, and no one unclean or evil-minded will be part of this highway, and even the fool will not be lost. And he linked it to John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, the life. And this was the turning point in the life of that young man. He joined the church, and he became a deacon, then a priest, and he dedicated all his life to God afterwards. We are speaking about one of the most important Bible verses that we will encounter ever in our life, especially in this time after knowing all these statistics. 70% of Christian youth leave church in the first year of college. Double the number of atheists are coming or born from the year 2000 till the year 2000 till our current 2018. And here the very profound message from God himself is saying, he said, I am the way, and I'm not a way, I'm not an option. To the extent, how important is this message to the Christian? How important this message to the Christian? Extremely important, to the extent that the Christian are named after Christ. Okay, we are all named after Christ. No, the name of the Christians in the early church was named the group of the way, Jama'at al-Tariq. The group of the way. In the book of Acts, and the beginning of the church, in the beginning of the early church, there was not the name of Christians was not yet there. They were saying those are the people who follow the way. Those are the people who follow the one who said, I am the way. To that extent and to that profound, it is part of our identity as Christians that even our name will be the people of the way or the congregation of the way. So, Christ is the way of salvation. Christ is the way of success, and Christ is the way of satisfaction. And in many times, we are, if you are searching for the salvation, for there is, nor is there salvation in any other, for there is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved. There is no other name under heaven given among men by which we must be saved. And he who believes in him is not condemned, but he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. For there is no God and no mediator between God. There is one God and one mediator between God and men, the man Jesus Christ. Many biblical verses abundant is speaking about Christ is the only way for our salvation. And speaking of the Mother's Days, and happy Mother's Days for all the moms who are here, this Bible verse is just for the moms. And it is related also to the salvation. Nevertheless, she, the mom, will be saved in childbearing, because many times the moms will be saying, "Oh, this is too much. This is overwhelming. We cannot take it anymore because of the demands and the needs of the kids and the people who are depending on her." But this Bible verse is saying, nevertheless, she, the mom, will be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith, love, holiness, with self-control. Nevertheless, she will be saved. لأنها ستخلص بولادة البنين إن ثبتنا في الإيمان والمحبة والقداسة مع التعقل. Nevertheless, she will be saved in childbearing if they continue, the kids, continue in faith, love, and holiness with self-control. So if God, and this Bible verse in Isaiah chapter 35 is a prophecy about Christ. A highway shall be there, and a road it shall be called the highway of holiness. And the unclean shall not pass over it. I don't know if you have, in some countries there is a toll road, but this toll road is not like the very high-tech toll road that you go. There is like a checkpoint. You go, they see, even if you are crossing the borders, you go, they check the car, they check your ID, your license and everything, and then they will tell you, okay, what? Now you can pass, or no, now you cannot pass. So the checkpoint on this way of holiness is what? If God is the way, and the checkpoint is from this Bible verse, a highway that it shall be called the highway of holiness. So from the get-go, it is the criteria of getting in is holiness. And the unclean shall not pass over it. There is no place in this highway that people who will be not living a pure life. And it shall be for others, and this is a prophecy about the Gentiles, that they will come. Whoever walks the road, although a fool, shall not astray. You know, I'm sorry to say, if someone who will get lost easily, a very smart guy, full of himself, and someone who is not that full of himself, and he is humble, and he doesn't know the way that much. Who will get lost easier? Why? He would never ask. The smart guy would never ask, because he's smart. And in our spiritual life, when we don't ask, unfortunately, if we are full spiritually, this is the place for us. Because when I am full, I know that I cannot do it on my own. I go back and I return back and I check with my father of confession and I ask. If I have questions, I ask. If I have doubts, I ask. If I have struggles, I ask. But those who are prideful, unfortunately, they have no place. So But what if I am not holy, and I'm not clean, and I'm evil-minded, and I'm proud? Because there is hope for everyone. Christ never said, you know what, you need to be holy before coming to me. What did the Lord do on the morning of Covenant Thursday? Covenant Thursday, the peak of Covenant Thursday is giving communion and starting or establishing the Eucharist or the liturgy in that time. What happened right after, before taking communion? What happened? Washing of the feet. Who washed the feet? So the Lord said, that your feet is not clean. Go get washed and come back. فيش حد يخش هنا مش نظيف. You cannot get in when you are not clean. Clean yourself outside and get in. And when you are clean outside, then you have a portion with me. Did the Lord do this? No. So what did the Lord do? He asked, he washed the feet of the disciples. But what did every single disciple do? Did the Lord force them to be washed? Did he force them? Give me a proof. He didn't force them. Because Peter told him, you are going to wash my feet? No way. You are going to wash my feet? No way. You can't do this. And the Lord told him, إن لم أغسلك لن يكون لك نصيب معي. If I did not wash you, you have no portion with me. To that extent, yes, to that extent. So the action of washing is not in our responsibility, is not our role. Who is washing? God. You need to consent to him. You need to come and tell him. And if you say, I am not, no, if you say, I don't need washing because I just took shower outside. So he's not going to wash you, so you are not a sinner, then you are out of his salvation. You don't need salvation because you are clean of your own. So in order really, so if I am not holy and I'm not clean and I'm evil-minded and I'm proud, just consent. Just give permission to God and tell him, you know what? When I am consenting that to the surgeon to do an operation on me, I'm telling the surgeon I have a problem. That's why I'm giving a written consent to the surgeon to put me to surgery, so as I will be operated upon and whatever I have as a health problem will be removed. But if I didn't consent, whether you don't want anyone to, you don't want the surgeon to operate on you, or you are healthy. And this is the two problems when we don't tell God, no, I don't need you anymore. I'm fine, I'm okay. When do you take out the trash in your home? I asked this to the junior high group. Different days in the week. Okay, I told them, okay, think of this. You didn't pick up the trash. You didn't send the trash outside of the home for 8 weeks. Everybody said, oh, it will be smelly. Our home will be like trash. Sending out the trash, when you put the trash outside of your home, this means that you have trash, right? By default, you have trash. And if you kept the trash inside, this does it mean that you don't have trash? You are hiding the trash. Are you there or I lost you? So the trash, when all of us have trash because all of us are sinning. No one is, ليس من يفعل الصلاح ليس ولا واحد. No one will have done righteousness, not even one in front of the eyes of God. So are all sinners. But if I claim that I am without sin, I make him a liar. So if I say I don't have trash, then we have a bigger problem because everyone has trash. So the fact is we are all having trash and we are all falling under the category of being a sinful people. A nice event happened. One, if you have heard about Abuna Mikhail Ibrahim, the very famous Abuna in the Coptic Church, he departed a while ago. He was the father of confession of Pope Shenouda. And someone entered the room of Abuna Mikhail before Abuna, without taking permission. And they found Pope Shenouda sitting on the floor. Pope Shenouda sitting on the floor, and Abuna Mikhail sitting on the chair, and Pope Shenouda is bowing down, asking for his absolution. What is this? This is the righteousness of the top of the church. They know that we are all having trash, and we need to admit that we have trash, and we need to let the trash out, and we need to consent that trash will be picked. But if I say I have no trash and I keep the trash inside and I don't need to confess, I don't need to repent, I don't need to return back to God, then unfortunately our place will be the source of trash and will be smelling very bad and it will not be looking good. So if I am not holy or even clean or even-minded and I am proud, remember this nice verse in Zechariah, return to me and I return to you. Return to me and I return to you. What shall we do? 3 things. Number 1, be honest and be genuine with yourself. Number 2, return to me and I will return to you. This is a promise from God. There is nothing that you have done ever in your life that will prevent God from accepting you back, except if you are saying, I'm okay, I have no problem, I don't need to confess, I don't need to return back to God or to go to my father of confession, or even I don't need a father of confession in my life because I'm fine. Return to me and I will return to you. And I beg you, if you are confused for any reason, with all the confusions around us, ask, because the key for those who are not lost in this path, those who are full, that they didn't say, you know what, I know it all, and they didn't claim something that they never had. So what is the most important Bible verse? John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, the life. And if he is the way, then there is no other way. Then if he is the truth, then do you believe that he is the truth and he is the way? If you believe that he is the truth and he is the way, then you will have life. And glory be to God forever and ever. Amen.